Well, I'm not as familiar with the other kinds of materials acquisition schemes that have been used in this process. But as I understand it, the idea is to institutionalize the idea of progressive change so that you give industry members an incentive to always get better by rewarding them with more points and a higher emblem or standard. And you build in a kind of progressive nature in the industry. And that's very attractive to us because a lot of our problems are centered around obsolete facilities, facilities that are not updated in terms of modern pollution control equipment. So it's very attractive to us to have a baseline established and then to try to move from that baseline forward and move the baseline as well, so that you get a modernized industry that is incorporating new ideas all the time, and it's an ongoing process. It's a very organic process, rather than something that's just established and stays stagnant or static. This one moves over time, and so that's important to us and to people on the ground in communities that I represent. The the hope that they can get better and that pollution can go down and that best practices can increase at a particular site. The concrete facilities are there for a long time. Certainly, the cement plants are there for a long time. So it's not a question of whether you want them or not. It's a question of whether they are following best practices or not, whether they're doing the best job they can of protecting people in that area. And to me, this is the concept that's being discussed here is a way to make sure that that happens from the industry's point of view. There are groups like ours that try to make sure it happens from the community's point of view, but it would be very helpful to have the industry's help in advancing that cause. So I think from that perspective, it offers some hope for people I represent on the ground.
Provided those standards are met, then I believe that it can be an effective way for companies to differentiate themselves from others within a sector and to drive environmental performance.
I think I think this is the first time that, at least in the cement and related industry, which is the concrete you're talking about and the aggregates, from what I know, uh, as somebody who's also engaged with cement companies before, not the concrete, but company like Lafarge, which operates in our region, which is the northeastern part of India, uh, that this is the first time that you're able to engage with the company. That's one. I mean, there are company representatives here. That's one, because it's very difficult to access companies in the way we are interacting here. But also, I think it's the first time that the civil society with indigenous people's representative able to interact. So that this is one platform, which is, I think, an interesting way to kind of build sort of a relationship with NGOs, civil society, indigenous groups. So that's a good platform to do to begin with.